I started reading Atomic Habits by James Clear to start changing my identity. I want to be better than I am right now because right now I'm not in the best head state, mental space. I'm in bad habits more than I'm in good ones. And I might be losing some of the good habits to bad habits, something like that. I decided to do what you could call a challenge, but it's not really a challenge for me. Just being able to record a video every day and make it something substantial and make it be something that means something to me but also means something to other people. And I felt like maybe reading a chapter of a book a day, especially a lot of the nonfiction, more self-help, more knowledge-based books that I have, be able to read those books every day, because most of the time those are not that's a lot of knowledge that a lot of other people already know, and there ain't really gonna be no spoilers, so ain't really nothing to spoil in those videos. I already am behind on reading a lot of my more nonfiction books, and reading a chapter a day allows me to get those books done, get those books read, but also having to post about it keeps me incentivized to continue to read those books, because I found that I start reading nonfiction books and then I fall off at a certain point, and I haven't been able to keep up with them. So now I'm gonna do this reading every day, read a chapter a day, because I'm very sure and I know myself I could read a chapter a day, and then do a video where I check in on what I've learned from that book, my takeaway from the book, how I can sum up that one chapter with whatever I learned from it, and maybe even include some quotes from the book that I have gleaned from the book, that's something that resonated with me. And so far in reading this introduction, I've gleaned two really good quotes that I'm just like, it's not really super groundbreaking. It's something like, oh my gosh, so profound. Nobody's ever heard this before. These are quotes that I've heard before, but it still resonates. First, a habit is a routine or behavior that is performed regularly and in many cases automatically. And the next quote is, changes that seem small and unimportant at first will compound into remarkable results if you're willing to stick with them for years. The quality of our lives often depends on the quality of our habits. With the same habits, you'll end up with the same results, but with better habits, anything is possible. I am looking forward to more quotables like that, because I think with those quotes, I will need to write those out and stick them up in so that I can always have those as a reminder. Because I think that's part of the process of me reading this book and being able to implement better habits, is being able to see regularly a reminder of, this is what we're working towards, this is who we're moving towards being, so we gotta do the work. In order to do the work, you gotta take the action, and seeing a reminder that says, this is what you're working for, and it's not just in my head but it's in my face, and it's saying, and it's just like a feedback. I will just say it's a feedback loop, because I'm gonna see it, it's gonna be like hitting me in my head, that's what you're supposed to be doing, and it's just like you gotta take action on that. So whenever I'm doubting, oh, should I be doing this or should I be doing that, there's a reminder that says, no, you gotta do it, because you're working towards something. This is the route that you're taking. I wrote out my thoughts on why I am doing this, and I will read them. I'm reading a chapter a day of Atomic Habits by James Clear to finally read the book for myself and to understand what it says about habits and how my habits change my identity or impact my identity. I've watched videos by other people who have read Atomic Habits before and synthesized the information to be digestible and actionable, but I haven't fully taken action on that information. I just consumed it. Now I'm going to read a chapter a day of the book. With each chapter, I want to be able to sum it up in a sentence or have one main major takeaway from each chapter, and make a video sharing what I learned and how I interpreted it or comprehended it, and if I'll implement it in my life or how I'll implement it in my life. I'll take notes and use sticky tabs to keep track of what I'm learning, what resonates, what I'm internalizing, and what I'm returning to. I learned that I should read nonfiction, self help / knowledge books like these first all the way through before taking action on the information. That way I can mark off with tabs and notes the information that is relevant to me, and I can come back to these parts of the book to reread and take action. For me, the book is a resource that I can continually revisit to learn from and refresh my mind. And I won't be spoiling it, like a fiction book since most people already know what's in it, and it's more about the action that comes from this information than it is just about the information. I'll be reading this book, Atomic Habits by James Clear, one chapter a day, and making a video on it and posting it every day. I'll be reading about building and breaking habits while building the habit of making and posting videos every day. Initially, in doing this daily reading quest, reading a chapter a day and making a video about it and posting it daily, I was thinking about doing the artist way again since I started and never finished. I was also thinking about doing Rock My Soul, Black People and Self Esteem by Bell Hooks, since I started that too, but I'll work on building this habit of reading and posting daily and come back to those books at a later date. I want to make making videos and reading daily start as simple as possible, yet be effective in my life. So the first chapter in Atomic Habits is down, the introduction. Tomorrow, the next chapter will be the official chapter 1 of Atomic Habits, which will be the surprising power of atomic habits. So I'm going to read that, but that introduction was very compelling. As far as I'm concerned, I think he's a really great storyteller, but he's also a really good storyteller because he said he practiced the art of writing, and that was one of his atomic habits, one of his many the habits that he has cultivated that has made him expert at writing this book. I am looking forward to reading his writing, but also I'm looking forward to seeing what he says about habits because I'm a writer. I want to be a better writer. I also want to actually finish something that I wrote, and I just want to continue to be better with that habit of writing. And if he's this good a writer from just constantly, continually writing, I want to be able to do the same thing and just be a better writer to finally actually write a book and finish it. And to stay consistent and to stay doing something regularly, daily, and never stop with a habit, with a practice. Thank you for spending your time with me, and I am out this bitch like Fleek. Shout out to Peaches. Thank you, girl.